something is going on here. Let's do the work. So I just take myself out of the situation and I start to work on the feelings, and then the feelings are rooted in a belief. So I realized that the belief of my survival coming through my partner was still alive. Hello and welcome back to another episode of 100x Journey. So what is 100x Journey? It's me showing how I am 100xing my life, meaning relationships, financials, purpose, health, which I'm pretty good at health and body wise, but 100xing everything with the power of the quantum field. What is the quantum field? Is the substance that it's omnipresent, omnipotent, which is the science behind God. So when we are one with the power, when we are God walking on earth, we connect to that source of power and we can create magic in our lives, which is 100x. Why 10x when you do it in a very human way, when you can 100x everything, and it feels effortless, which it doesn't mean that you do not have to take action. It's just that the action, it feels so light and so aligned and so effortless that it's like you are carried along. And this is my journey of me becoming more and more and more that. And I'm starting in a very dense, materialistic place. And I'm going to be ascending and I'm journeying, I'm documenting my journey. So you can get inspired and journey with me, because I don't want to do this just by myself. The reason why I want to journey with you is so you can do it too, by me sharing my experiences, by me sharing the journey of how I am making it happen, how I'm going from 0 to 1 million. Again, it's the proof, because we have been conditioned as human beings that we need to see, to believe. And that's not me, because I am believing. I have such a big conviction of this 100x that I'm going for it. And hey, you're coming with me too. I'm inviting you. Okay, today I want to talk about patterns. In my previous episode, I was sharing how I am very conscious of the patterns that make me lose my power. So what is our power? Our power, it's energy. The more energy we can hold, and I'm going to talk more about this energetic capacity, because 100x, which is this God soul frequency, is the highest frequency of all. There's no higher frequency than 100x. So in order for our little human body, which is only 0.0000001 matter at 99.99999 energy, in order for our little human body to carry all this amount of power, it has to have a lot of energetic capacity. In my previous video, I was sharing how I am very aware of my patterns. When we lose our power, it's usually are the same patterns again and again and again. Until we do not dissolve those patterns, they're going to show up in our experience. So what are those patterns? Those are my patterns, and everyone has different patterns. But something that I realized is that what it's personal, it's also universal. And if you are a woman in your late 30s or even 40s, then most likely you have the same patterns as me. As I said, most likely. Maybe you don't. So what is this pattern? Men and money, and they are very connected. It's not that it's men and then money. It's just one. Why? Because when we are born, again, we have been conditioned. Society has been conditioning us since we are born. And one of the many, 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 many conditionings that I received as a woman, and especially being from South America. By the way, I'm from Argentina. I don't know, I have shared that before. I feel that in those in South America, where this masculinity energy it's super strong, where the man has to go and provide for the family, which it comes from again thousands of years ago, where men went out hunting and women take care of the kids. Well, this is still a thing in our society. As I said, if you are in your 30s and 40s, because what I am finding is that the younger generation is kind of shifting this, because there's so many more role models of women going for it, that this young generation is really shifting the belief that women have to take care of the kids and men have to provide. Now I feel that it's more kind of equal. But that's not what I have been conditioned. When I was a little girl, I saw my mom surviving through her partners. My parents got separated when I was very young, and then I saw my mother changing partners, and every partner that she had, the partner was supporting her and helping her to, pay the rent, or not even the rent, pay the bills. So that's what I took as true. That is one of my strongest beliefs, or was, or I'm still fighting through it, because I do not want to live through that belief that my survival needs to come from my partner. In fact, I had to go against this belief 4 years ago when I decided to leave my marriage and I signed a prenup. So that prenup said that if I decided to leave the marriage, I was leaving empty handed. And I did. I was not in a very happy relationship. And I knew, because I have been developing myself for more than 10 years now, and I knew that I have the power and I felt it. So it's like, I do not need to be in this relationship just because I need to feel safe. And I feel that there are a lot of women that are going through this, that they feel that they cannot leave their marriages because they depend, their husband is the one that brings the money. And if they separate, if they get divorced, then things might get hard. And I know a lot of women that are in that situation. They desire to leave the marriage, but they're so afraid of the future that they just rather stay in an unhappy relationship. That was not me. I took the biggest leap of faith. I think that I have never done anything so courageous in my life, which is living empty handed, completely empty handed, and not even knowing how I was going to make it happen. But I'm very bold and brave, and that's one of my, I would say, gifts, that I just go for it without kind of knowing what the consequences are going to be. A little bit of delusional, you can call me, but delusional is the way for 100x. So this pattern, men and money, again, they're so related for a lot of women, because we believe that our survival, our money, our not even just survival and money, it's like our desires. I believed that my desires were going to come with my partner, like the house, the trips, and all of the things, which now my desires are completely different. But when I started doing this work, my desires were very superficial. Now my desires are based on service and based on impact. My desires before were more based on material things. So, this pattern, why I'm saying that it's interconnected. When I left my marriage, 6 weeks later, I met my actual partner. And it's very interesting because I am very good at manifesting men in the sense that it's not hard for me to manifest a provider man. because my survival depended on me manifesting the partner. And I remember being very intentional when I met my actual partner. It didn't happen right away. There were many things that needed to happen for us to be now in a committed relationship. So when I manifested my partner, I remember doing a lot of the manifestation work. At that time, very I was already in my journey of conscious manifestation. In fact, the way that I left my marriage, the way that I found my apartment, and all of the things were very conscious manifested. So when I met my partner, and when I met him, he was married. Yes, he was married, and now he's not married anymore. But when I met him, it's like, I don't care. I just want him to leave his marriage because I want to be with him. And I manifested every single thing. By the way, he didn't cheat. They were having an open relationship. Story for another time, maybe. So I manifested it as I wanted him. Like, I wanted him very committed, and he showed up that way in my life. But what I realized is that my intention for manifesting him, yes, I wanted to fall in love and I truly love him, but I also manifested him because I knew, again, it's not that I knew it consciously, this belief that I have that my survival depends on a partner. So, of course, I manifested my survival. Last year, at some point, we were living together, but then he'd move out because he bought a house and he wanted to flip it, and I have my kids. I cannot move anywhere because I just have to stay near my kids. So we are having this kind of distance relationship. But what was very interesting is that when he decided to move to his new house, I felt like dying. And this is someone who left her marriage empty handed and started to pay her bills by herself and all of the things. But then I meet my actual partner, and then he tells me that he's going to buy this house and he moves out. And then something, I felt like a big thing inside of me. And that's when I started to do all of this work. Everything is a mirror, not just our relationship. The entire world, it's a mirror of our beliefs. So when I felt that sense of dying, that's when I started to say, okay, Agustina, why are you feeling like you're going to die? If you have been paying your bills, yes, it has been a little bit of a struggle at the beginning, I won't lie. And he helped here and there, but I was able to do it by myself. So it's like, why do you feel this sense of dying? And that's when I realized that my belief of men and money being my survival pattern, of course I felt like I was going to die because there was a rooted deep belief that my survival was based on my partner. So me seeing my partner leaving, which he didn't leave me, but my little girl didn't understand that. And that's when I started to do a lot of the work, a lot of the emotional work that I shared in my previous video of how I am using these feelings of dying, these feelings of super constriction. Instead of going deeper into that constriction, I use it as a way for, ooh, okay, something is going on here. Let's do the work. So I just take myself out of the situation and I start to work on the feelings, and then the feelings are rooted in a belief. So I realized that the belief of my survival coming through my partner was still alive, even though I did the bravest thing in my life, which was leaving a marriage with nothing. After 17 years of being together, I decided to just let it all go because I knew that I had power to create my own things. And now I manifested my beautiful, amazing, loving new partner. And I realized that that belief was still very strong and alive. And that's when I kept doing the work and the work. And a few days ago, I realized that that pattern is still fucking alive. I know. It's repattering the beliefs. It is a work, but has been so rooted in my DNAs, in my cells. It is, my DNA is telling me, hey, your survival is coming from the partner. Your survival is coming from the man that you are with, and this is my biggest work. Is really dissolving the belief that my survival needs to come from my partner. And I want to just love my partner and not need to be with a partner because it's my survival. And this is the work that I'm still doing. And a few days ago, I kept doing the work. Something showed up in my experience. There was this argument with my partner, and I started to see all of the shoulds. You should be doing this and you should be doing that. Not to him, but on my mind. I was like judging a lot of the things. And when you judge someone, it's because you have a strong belief about that person doing something that goes against of what you feel, it's safe for you. So that's when I realized, okay, I need to keep on doing the work, and I'm still doing the work. And at some point, because I'm doing the work and I'm doing the work, which is again removing myself from that experience and start to see everything from a third point view and start to go deeper into the belief. And it's like, do I really believe that my survival comes from a partner? And it's like, no, I have been paying my bills by myself. I have been doing all the things by myself. I do not need a man to survive. But again, this is coming from the caveman. So I'm a cave woman. But this is me doing the work, and I will repattern this belief 100%. Trust me. And this is why I wanted to share this pattern in my 100x, because this pattern needs to be completely dissolved for me to be in my 100x frequency. My 100x frequency doesn't need a partner to survive. By the way, my 100x, it's mega extra powerful and can survive beautifully by herself. Anyways, so I thought that I wanted to share in case there are some women that are going through a similar experience, because as I said, what is personal is universal. And I believe that this pattern, this conditioning that we have been given when we are born as women, and the same thing is for men if you think about it, because men have the belief that they have to provide, right? And that's another very strong belief, because if they don't provide, then again, it's their survival, but it's their own. But again, we all have different beliefs. We all have different patterns that we have to dissolve. This is it for today. And if you desire to join my 100x quantum gym, which is where we connect every single day with the quantum field, because the more we connect to the quantum field, the more we gain our power, and the more power we gain, we get closer to the 100x. One of the essential steps to 100x is to connect and be connected to the quantum field every single day. The more we connect to the quantum field, the more we are open to receive, because the quantum field, it's open, it's expanded. And if we are closed and heavy, then energy cannot flow. And the quantum field needs to get our vessel, our body open and expanded so more energy can flow. This is why it's so important to be connected to the quantum field every single day, because it's by connecting to the quantum field that we gain our superpowers, and then we can 100x our life. If you desire to 10x, which again, it's beautiful, it's all good. 10xing, it's amazing. I'm not here just to 10x, I'm here to 100x. And if you desire to 100x with me, I invite you to my journey. And if you feel related, if you feel that you are one of those women, or maybe your wife or your partner has the same pattern, then the work is to dissolve those beliefs. So, this is it for today, and I'll be here tomorrow too, and the day after tomorrow, because the 100x, it's the journey, it's not a destination. I love you. I'll see you very soon. Bye.